Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, this time with once again another product review, where today we are going to be looking at a rather interesting third-party accessory for the Nintendo Switch. In case you haven't already guessed, I think the Nintendo Switch is such an amazing console. However, I don't know if it's just me, but I've always found there to be one or two minor quirks regarding the Joy-Con controllers. Aside from the small size, I've always found the analog sticks to not be the most precise things, making tight platforming a little bit tricky. Also, instead of a D-pad, you are expected to use these small buttons, which, I mean, works fine, but still not the best thing for these retro titles IMO. When playing on an external display, I use other methods to play, such as using the Switch Pro controller or 8BitDo USB adapter, which allows me to use my DualShock 4 or DualSense wireless controllers with the Switch, which I showcased on Twitter some time back. Of course, requiring the USB dongle, this isn't the most practical of all solutions when using the Switch in handheld mode. So what do? Well, this is where this cool gadget comes into play. This is the RetroFlag handheld controller for the Nintendo Switch OLED, of which you can probably tell is a GameCube style controller grip, which boasts a myriad of very good features, including no drift joysticks, so you can finally say goodbye to quote-unquote Joy-Con drift, different turbo modes, strong vibration motors with a built-in gyroscope for the motion controls, swappable and programmable buttons, supposedly good ergonomics, and pass-through port which supports fast charging. Very nice to see. Okay, so now it is time to get hands-on with this and actually take a closer look. So here is the design of the box, as you can see right here, nice and simple. Obviously there is a little breakdown on the back of the box as well of some of its features, which is really nice to see, you know, gives you an idea of what you can do with it and stuff like that, and the fact that it's plug and play, and it does actually support both Switch models, which is pretty nice. Now, let's have a look at it itself and open up the box. So, inside you do get a nice little set of instructions right here, which obviously tell you the button mappings, and obviously a setting that you might need to change should you want to use this, and also on the back as well a little bit of instructions, set of instructions that give you a guide on how to use the functions and stuff like that, with a nice little RetroFlag logo to sign it off. So anyway, here it is. Very nice. So it is pretty lightweight, and it does have a nice bit of a obviously GameCube centric design. Sticks feel nice, D-pads okay, bit soft but still works fine, and obviously nice clicky tactile buttons and triggers, which both feel consistent, which I know some people have mentioned that one's softer than the other. I luckily don't have that problem, which is very nice. So let's grab my Switch OLED right here and let's install this into the controller grip. So obviously it just slides straight in place. It is a pretty tight fit, so you need to put a bit of pressure on, not too much pressure to where you break the Switch, but enough just so that you can get it in place. So there we go, as you can see it is installed. Now let's turn it on and check it. As you can see it is paired, and as you can see it works. So as you can see it is working absolutely brilliantly, and it does feel pretty nice in the hand as well. It does add a little bit more weight to what your normal Switch would be, but not into Steam Deck or ROG Ally territory, so it is a bit heavier now, so that's good that it all works. So now to test it with a bit more GameCube centric game. As you can see here, game works pretty well, and it does feel a little bit more at home, you know, with the authentic controls. Apart from obviously the C stick doesn't have the cutouts on it, you know, it's just a circular stick like you'd see on other consoles, because I guess this is to avoid licensing issues and lawsuits for Nintendo, which I totally understand, but so it's not the most faithful to the GameCube in that regard, but still at the same time it works for it. So now let's test out the D-pad. Okay, so if I can navigate this level totally fine with the D-pad of all levels, I think this works good enough for platforming games. Now the D-pad is a bit soft, like I said before. I would like a bit more of a tactile D-pad, but I guess it works. Now, analog stick. Now, if it can keep up with Super Mario 64, and I can do tight platforming tricks like this, I think the analog stick is pretty good. So as you can see, the analog stick works nice. Awesome. Now here is a challenge where I first noticed the imprecise joysticks on the Joy-Cons, in my opinion anyway, and that was this flying mission Sunny Flight in Spyro 1 Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And as you can see, using this controller, it's all working out pretty well, and it definitely does feel a lot more authentic to what it does with, say, a DualShock, or using one of the adapters, or the Pro Controller. So as you can see, absolutely destroying and slaying this mission here, which obviously you've probably seen on my channel 100 times before. But as you can see, it works well, so it does officially pass that test. So very, very nice to see that works well. Now, unfortunately, it does have a few downsides, not major deal breakers, but obviously one issue that I do have is it's a bit tight and difficult to get your cards in and out, game cards, because you can't fully open the flaps, so it makes removing and inserting game cards quite tricky. My workaround is to pull the switch out a little bit temporarily while I insert and remove games. Not a major disadvantage, but a bit annoying. And obviously this does fit the regular Switch as well, but it is a bit looser, but it does work. Also, you do seem to get a few scratches from the clips on the side of it, of the Joy-Con rails. Not something you can really see, but I just thought I'd point that out. And if you're wanting to dock your Switch with this in, it is simply not going to happen, it will not fit. And even if you use an adapter, it's for charging only. Unfortunately, the port, a TV just simply does not detect it. So that wraps up my little review and test of the RetroFlag controller grip for the Nintendo Switch. So would I recommend you get this for your Switch yourself? I would say yes. I'd say the disadvantages and cons to this are very minor at that. Just a few things to be made aware of. But in general, it does feel like a very high quality third-party controller that lives very closely up to the standards of Nintendo themselves. So I'd say that this is a very good accessory for your Nintendo Switch. So anyway, that wraps up that. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all liked this video, and I will of course leave links in the description below to purchase from the UK and the US Amazon if you want to try this product for yourself. So there you have it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all in my next video.